Hey guys, welcome to question MM306 of the Maths Methods Fortify study guide. Now in this question we've got a function f of x equals 5 root x over 3 plus 1. We have it here with a bunch of shaded areas. And our first part A, which is a 1 mark question, says find the value of p. Okay, so our p, or our coordinate p, occurs at p3. So we know that the y value at this point is 3, right? So when x equals p, y equals 3. Right? We know that our function is 5 root x on 3 plus 1, which means our y value is going to be 3, and our x value is going to be p. So 5 root p over 3 plus 1. Right? Now from here, we can take away 1 from both sides, which means we get 2 equals 5 root p over 3. Multiplying both sides by 3, we get 6 equals 5 root p. So 6 over 5 equals root p. And then we square both sides to get p, which means we get 36 over 25. That's our first and final mark for this question. That's our final answer. Let's move on to part B. Now part B is a 3 mark question, and it asks us to find the area of the shaded region. Okay, so the 3 marks. So this bit and this bit. So it's a little bit weird because we've got 2 random kind of areas, but we'll be able to do this. So there's many ways to do this. I'm just going to show you one today, and this is probably the way I would do it in an exam. So our area is equal to this total rectangle minus this unshaded area, right? Because if we have this rectangle, we minus that, it's going to leave these 2 pieces here. So rectangle minus unshaded. Now our rectangle, to find the area of a rectangle, we just do length times width, right? So our length is 3. So that's 3. And our width is p, which is 36 on 25. Right? We found that in the previous question. 36 on 25. Now, what we're actually going to do is we're going to minus the unshaded area. Okay. So the way I would do it is, if we were to move this down by 1 unit, we would be able to find the area under here of this graph. Right? So at the moment we're plussing 1, we've got it moved up by 1. So if we moved it back down by 1, that would just leave this unshaded area, and we could use an integral to find that area. Okay? So what I'm going to do is say the integral from 0 to 36 on 25 of 5 root x over 3 plus 1, but I'm going to move it down, so minus 1. Okay? So this is what I would do. There's many ways to do this, like I said, but this would be your first mark if you did it this way. So this bit here would be 108 on 25. And then from here you would have, because we want to break this down into a kind of easily digestible value, which means that we get this plus 1 and this negative 1 cancel each other out, which means we get 5 over 3 x to the power of 1/2 dx. Okay, so root x is the same as x to the power of 1/2, which means we get 108 on 25 minus, integrating this, we get 10x to the power of 3 on 2 over 9, and that's from 0 to 36 on 25. Awesome. Sweet. So from here we can say that 108 on 25 minus 10 times, now we're subbing in these x values, so we get 36 on 25 to the power of 3 on 2 over 9. And then we would minus this with 0 in it, but because this x is affecting everything, that's just going to be equal to 0. So I'm not going to write, you can just say take away 0. So we do have our CAS in this question, so I would advise using that. I don't want you to be doing 30, I mean, you could actually kind of simplify it, but I'm just going to kind of go to the next step. So that means we have 108 over 25 minus 48 on 25. So this bit works out to 48 on 25. From here, because they've got the same denominator, we can just take them away from each other. So 60 over 25. And then simplifying that, we can say that our area is equal to 12 on 5 units squared. Awesome. So, by the way, apologies, your second mark would actually come the step before this. Sorry, I forgot to write it down. So the step 108 on 25 minus, what was that? 10x 3 on 2 over 9. 36 on 25, 0. That would be your second mark there. And your third mark would be your final answer, 12 on 5 units squared. Please don't forget your units squared because we are talking about area. So we need to include that. Guys, that's it for this question. Please hit me up if you have any questions in the comments below. But otherwise, have an awesome day.